And welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben, and this is my review for Netflix's original documentary, Tiger King 2. Let me know in the comments below, were you excited to see season 2 or were you over it already? Let's jump in. With Joe Exotic behind bars and Carole Baskin closing in on the ownership of his disreputable zoo, Emmy-nominated Sega continues its twisted course with Tiger King 2 as newfound revelations emerge on the motivations, backstories and secrets. So there's 5 episodes, about 45 minutes apiece, and the first thing I've got to say is I think this could have been a feature film or 2 episodes long. They definitely stretch out the investigations of what's happened. Joe's in jail, Carole Baskins is not really to be seen much here, and all the other kind of zoo-orientated people who were dealing with the animals, from Joe's exes to Joe's frenemies or newfound enemies. There's a lots of twist and turning of who's going to be on Joe's side and who's not going to be on Joe's side. I do feel like they has stretched out the investigation so that we could get 5 more episodes and squeeze out every little bit from this documentary that you could get. That's not to say there isn't stuff to enjoy or be intrigued by. I would say enjoy is I guess when we had Tiger King, it was interesting to see what was going on in his world of these kind of petting zoos, and you felt for the animals. At the end of the day, that's what it matters. What's happening to the animals. The people themselves seems to be quite vile. And the media went with Tiger King season 1 and went wild. And the people involved in the project and behind the scenes have made a lot of money off capitalizing on the popularity. And then Joe is still stuck in jail, and we had this whole campaign as part of what season 2 is about freeing Joe, getting released from jail and getting Trump involved, and then we had COVID, and that's all kind of incorporated, and that was somewhat interesting. The thing is, I don't know that this series even needs to exist, because nothing is really coming to fruition in this documentary series. There are no real answers. Carole Baskin's ex, Don, is still nowhere to be found. They have a little bit of information about where that could have gone, but nothing in cement. Joe Exotic is still in jail, and that like there wasn't like a big moment where somebody was freed. It's really just more looking at how Joe grew up, his family life, his families, his friends, all of the relationships he's had, and then the consequences of these people that hold these animals and what they do. More light is kind of brought to the surface. It feels like they had a whole bunch of footage, maybe even from season 1, and then incorporated it with some new, with what has happened since. And so, yeah, I don't know that this even needed to be made. And because it did, we have 5 episodes that feels very stretched out. And I can't help but wonder whether people are over the Tiger King story. We had the first season, which hit the world with a bang. And season 2, even going by like the numbers of the views and trailers and teasers and stuff, people aren't that interested anymore, which I think is very telling. We want the animals to be saved, and that story is kind of old hat now. So now we have the second season, and you're hoping as you're watching it that it's going to be revealing, like have someone actually done some really deep investigation and found out some truths. And unfortunately, you're not going to find that yet. What you are going to find is more kind of vile stuff that is brought to the surface. It is put together in a way with interviews and Joe Exotic on the telephone via jail or video phone, where you get to see some of his face, and then you get to see some people changing sides and join the Joe Exotic camp, and then you see other things like people very much twisting the narrative for them and then doing affidavits so that they can capitalize once again, save their own bacon. It does feel like we're just watching a bunch of rants and people changing sides for their own benefit. Hardly interesting, but I kind of zoned out for most of the episodes, and as you tick them by, you find some information and you're like, oh, that's interesting, but you're kind of sighing, going, okay, there's another rant from that person. You know, I can't believe that the government's coming after me, I don't treat animals badly, and then you see some footage of them treating animals badly, and so it carries on, and the more light that is shed on these people, the more you will dislike them. I can say that it finishes with a, oh, okay, here's what has happened to the animals since. And that, for me, was like the best part of the documentary, showing what has happened, because that's what we should be concerned about here. And then apart from what actually happened to Carole Baskin's X. Do you think that she actually murdered him? She has obviously stated loads of times, reading her diaries online and things like that, that she, she hasn't done anything. But if you don't want to get caught, you're not going to say anything, and no one's brought any evidence to show the opposite. Let me know your thoughts below. Do you think we needed this? Did you enjoy it? I thought it was okay for the most part. I'm going to give it 2.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5. Really want any more from this world. I'm just happy that the cats have a new home that seems to be much better for where they were. I hope that is the case, because you never really can quite tell. Thanks so much for watching this, but most of all, until next time, remember, live on Tuesday.